This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV, and today I've got a special guest. I've got Josh Yawn. Josh, hello! Thanks for joining us today.
John, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's great. I've been kind of looking forward to this for a while to talk to you. I mean, we've talked at some of the DJ conventions, but yeah, we got some time to wrap today. We've got a lot of things we wanted to talk about. We met, it would have been, let's see, I think we met a couple of years ago, but last year we got to spend some time talking a little bit more about your book that you came out with. And I've done some video about the book. This is the hosting book, and Josh, you have a copy of it right there.
I do. Hosting for DJs is the, let me see if I can get it in here.
There it is. There
it
is.
Right there.
Hosting for DJs. And of course, there aren't many books, truthfully, that I've read front to back. But that is definitely one of them. Can you tell us, what was your impetus, or what kind of brought you to the point of writing that book?
It was the combination of my TV career and my DJ career. And that was kind of really the catalyst that got me into doing a lot of these things like Crash Course and hosting for DJs and all these things to begin with. One of the things that DJs kind of came to me and said after Crash Course that they needed some help with was their MC skills.
Sure.
And with me having a background in TV hosting, corporate hosting, stage hosting, event hosting in general, it was sort of the natural progression to go right from Crash Course into the Hosting for DJs book. And so it started out with a seminar that we went around the country with on the Mobile Beat Tour. And then the book came, and then we did the Mobile Beat 2012 show, and then a revised version of that at the ADJA show in 2013. So it's been a great project for us, and it's really changed a lot of DJs' businesses. So it's been really great.
Oh yeah, you've got some really good tips in there, and a lot of information. It was, for those of us who've been in it a while, there was a lot of refresher and some new ideas. But boy, for somebody starting out, what a gold mine really for information.
No, absolutely. And you hit a good point there. It's great for someone who's been in the business for 20, 30 years to go back and sort of look at some of these things. And that's actually been the largest clientele for the book has been folks that have been in the business for a long time. Sure. Because you find that a lot of folks who are new to the business don't necessarily think about that yet, just because they're still learning what facets of the business they need to cover. So most of the people who buy the book are the guys and gals who have been in it for a long time. And it's also worth mentioning that the foreword of the book was written by Mark Summers, who a lot of folks remember from Double Dare and Nickelodeon, and of course now he hosts Unwrapped, which is the longest running show on the Food Network. So he wrote the foreword of the book, longtime friend of mine. Nice. And that's worth the price of admission alone. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. What does the book sell for online right now?
$15.
$15, and it will be available at Mobile Beat.
It will be available at Mobile Beat, as will DJ Crash Course. We've got one and dos right there, and those have been a great project for us as well. It's of course a DVD series, and so we'll have all three of those there bundled together, and possibly a new little project that'll go inside with the seminar I'm giving this year. So
well, let's jump back to DJ Crash Course.
Sure.
Now tell us a little bit about what's on the discs, and I mean I've watched some of them, but go ahead, tell us what is on there and what they're all about.
Well, it's funny. We started off doing Crash Course with the intention of giving DJs sort of either a refresher if you've been in the business for a long time to kind of hone your craft and go back and just sort of refresh, or build a business from the ground up if you're brand new to it. But what we found that works best for people, guys and gals, are using this to train multi-op situations, train new DJs. So it's become just out of necessity a training tool. And our first volume here is what we call the A to Z sort of volume: music, marketing, mixing, basically everything that you could think of to cover would be in the first volume. And then our second volume is just the equipment edition. So this is something that's really good for the multi-ops to get to the new DJs who need to learn the equipment, who need to learn the gear, learn why this makes this and why this needs to plug into this and what your other options are as far as how you can connect A to B and things like that. So they've been very useful for a lot of DJs. And in fact, Ryan Berger uses them to train his DJs in his company. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And the production quality. I mean, sometimes when you're getting some of the DVDs, as you know, sometimes we get some really good information, but the production quality wasn't there. But you could tell your TV side was coming through with that you had an eye for making sure you've got a quality product.
Thanks, man. I was really big on making sure that the production value was high on this. Coming from a TV and production background and then also a DJ background, it was the right way to sort of meet the two in the middle of the road. and it was a, you know, a 3-camera HD shoot. We shot it in an actual studio with an actual grid of lights, with an actual, you know, everything was done the way it would be done if it were to be broadcast.
Yeah.
And that was really important to me to do.
Yeah, yeah, no, those were great resources. Again, for a multi-op, if you're looking for something for your monthly training meetings, I think that you could take sections of that and just have a really good, a good tool for training new DJs.
Most definitely, and it's broken down into modules. So you could, each month as you have your training sessions, you could show a different module. And so you have kind of a nice curriculum to go through over the course of time. And one thing that I'm working on right now that a lot of DJs have asked for is a workbook to go along with that.
Oh, yeah.
Now that it's catching on with a lot of multi-ops, people are wanting a workbook that they can give to their new DJs to go back and quiz them over what they've seen and make sure they're absorbing the information. So that's something that's going to be coming down the pike soon.
Oh, yeah, what a natural progression, because that's, yeah, now that you bring that up, yeah, you can see how that would be just a wonderful addition to the whole package. Yeah,
Thank you.
Very neat, very neat. Well, you mentioned, now going ahead there, at Mobile Beat, you're going to have a new seminar this time. Tell us a little bit about the seminar. I think you're going to be kicking it off Thursday morning, am I correct?
Thursday morning, yes, absolutely. I'm not sure of the time. I think it's it's sometime in the morning there.
Morning, yeah.
Sometime in the morning.
Yep, I saw you on the schedule, and I circled it on the schedules, but I don't remember the time. 9 or 10.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's sometime in there. Check your schedule. I'll be there. And the seminar is based on advertising and marketing. And you know, sort of facet of my TV career that's sort of happened by accident is that I've fallen into the advertising and the marketing world. You know, I spent 10 years working in national television. I've done 15 national shows. And then I sort of transitioned into commercials and long format videos and things like that. And I still do the other as the opportunities come up.
Sure.
But my day-to-day job currently is advertising. And I found a lot of great tips, tools, resources that can be passed on to the DJ. Because as a DJ, I'm constantly looking for these things and finding new ways to help people build their business. And, you know, I think that this is an area that a lot of DJs are lacking in because, I mean, as a DJ, you know, we have to a lot of times wear a dozen hats to make things happen. And, you know, I don't care who you are. Some of those emphasis are going to be lesser than the others. And we have to kind of make it up as we go a lot of times. And so I saw that as an area that I could possibly use what I've gained from working in the ad business to help DJs transition that over to their businesses. So we're going to have a lot of great tips on advertising and how to even find free ways to market your business, because that's another thing. We're small businesses. You know, we don't have the big ad budgets. So this is definitely going to be catered to the small business DJ in a big business marketing style.
Nice. Wow, that sounds really cool. It could be, as you say, very beneficial for the guys who are out there by themselves, in essence, on that island.
Right.
Yeah, fabulous.
And, you know, I've been there, so I know exactly where these guys and gals are at. You know, I ran my business for almost 15 years, and finally I've decided that, you know, it's time to sort of step away from that particular facet of my career and focus on this. But I was there for 15 years. I know what it's like to have to market a business. I know what it's like to have to get the word out there and pound the pavement and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's spoken from experience on both sides of the street.
Yeah, for sure. Neat, very neat. So you're saying that, or you mentioned in that your national TV work. Let's touch on that a little bit. We haven't talked about that much. I've been following your Facebook posts here for the last, it seems like 2 years now, and you've been showing a family game show that you're doing. Can you bring us up to speed on what that's all about? I mean, it looks.
Sure.
I've seen some incredible pictures. It's like, wow, what is he doing in his living room?
Right, it takes place right
here.
Yeah, no, it's a show called Family Knows Best, and it's a family game show where two families come on and they play against one another, and everything on the show involves the family working together as a unit. We have physical games, mental games, and what have you, and all of these tasks have to take place with the family working together as a unit. There's no task that can be completed with one family member, and so they play against each other in the family, which wins the round or wins the game, moves on in a tournament, and ultimately they win a really cool family vacation package.
Oh, nice.
But we just wrapped up our second season. It's doing very well for us, and we're local in Texas at the moment, but we're looking to be in markets across the country this year. So cross your fingers for us that that'll happen, and it's been a very good project for us. And one thing I think that's kind of cool to mention, we tried to work in as many elements of the DJ realm, I guess you would put it, into Family Knows Best. Our buzzers were given to us by DigiGames, which was
nice.
awesome. We used the buzzers all through the cubes all throughout the show, which was fantastic. The podiums on the show were lit with Chauvet color strip minis
Nice.
behind those. My mic was a Line 6, so all over the DJ world was sprinkled over Family Knows Best, which was of course important for me, and it's all I know. So you use what you know,
For sure,
and it worked out perfectly. But to answer your question fully, prior to that, I was on the road for basically 10 years. It all started in 2002 with a reunion of an old Nickelodeon show called You Can't Do That on Television, which was, of course, the show with the green slime and Alanis Morissette and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It was a Canadian show, and we did the reunion in Canada in the actual studio where they had taped the show. And from there, I went on and graduated college, got my degree in broadcasting and communication, worked for NBC's The Biggest Loser in casting, Last Comic Standing, Super Nanny. Went back to doing the Nickelodeon thing for a little while behind the scenes of a show called My Family's Got Guts, which was the revival of the old Nickelodeon show Guts with the aggro crag and all that kind of stuff. We did 2 seasons of that show in Orlando. From there, got back in front of the camera and hosted briefly on Game Show Network in LA on a show called GSN Live, and sort of continued from there with on-camera work, doing corporate and industrial type stuff. And so it's been sort of a bounce back and forth between behind the scenes and in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I love them both, and I consider myself a host and producer. And things like DJ Crash Course are great because they allow me to sort of be both the host, the producer, and the DJ. So it's sort of the combination of all love. So if I could do that kind of stuff for the rest of my life, believe me, I would.
Neat. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got a lot of things going on. Let's jump back to Mobile Beat a little bit.
Sure.
Now, I'm sure you've had a little time to look at the different schedule, and of course, obviously, I've got yours circled. But what are a couple other things that are kind of, as you were looking at the schedule, and you've been kind of, what are things that you're looking forward to with Mobile Beat here in 2014?
What I look forward the most with these conferences is just the camaraderie between one another. It's become for me like a family reunion almost to go to these things. When I first started coming to speak at these, when we unloaded Crash Course for the first time, it's funny because I was kind of the new guy, and you always kind of as the new guy are on the outside a little bit, and you kind of get the the hazing as the new guy. And so I certainly went through that the first time I was there, and it was sort of like, who are you? Why are you here? What are you trying to tell me about my business? And then after the Mobile Beat tour, it became this just amazing environment, this amazing camaraderie. And, I've gotten to the point now where I miss it throughout the year being with everybody. And it's just become that, like I said, a family reunion. So that's what I look forward to the most, and seeing guys like you and Ben Stowe and Ryan and everyone else. But secondary to that, the seminars that I'm looking forward to, there's another marketing seminar that's on the agenda. And I apologize, I don't remember the name of the person who's putting that on, but I'm definitely interested in seeing that. Of course, interested in seeing anything that Ben Stowe's doing. I want to see Randy Bartlett's seminar, and of course, Jason Weldon is a great guy as well. So I'd love to see them.
Yeah. I was just going through the schedule. It came out, I think, just yesterday.
Right.
And wow, looking through, there's going to be some fabulous things there. It's one of those years where when I'm not at my booth, you'll find me in the exhibit hall or in the seminar hall, not in the exhibit. So yeah, just going to be a fabulous lineup.
And Montel Jordan, did I read correctly, is going to be there this year?
Yeah, I think Montel Jordan is. I think you're starting today, so we're starting it at a high note, and then we're going to go to this guy named Montel Jordan, and he's
some guy,
and then it's going to end with Brian Dodge, and Brian Dodge is actually up in Dallas, and he, if you've not seen Brian Dodge, he is an incredible speaker, motivational speaker who is really into the selling world, and I've seen him numerous times, and every time I've walked away, not only motivated and inspired, but I've picked up some nuggets that have helped. So, goodness gracious, with your beginning today, and then that Montel person talking somewhere in the middle, and then Brian at the end. Boy, it'll be a lot of sales. And
so Montel Jordan and I are opening for Brian Dodge, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't want to come right out and say it, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's okay. I'm happy to open for Montel Jordan, who's opening for Brian Dutch, so it works out
So,
perfect.
yeah,
Go to them all.
works
Yeah,
out very, very well. Cool.
very well.
So, what kind of in the future coming up here? You mentioned a little bit that there's a new project. Maybe kind of what do you got on a burner there that we can keep an eye out for here in 2014?
The big thing to keep an eye out for in 2014 is going to be hopefully the national episodes of Family Knows Best. We're really hoping and working hard to ensure that we have the best shot at that as possible. And we're shooting some new content at the moment with some new shows that we're going to begin pitching as well. My company, Joshua Productions, is now into creating shows, and we're trying very hard to get as many projects out there sort of on the wire as possible. So.
Sure.
You never know what you're going to see. We have a couple of things in the works at the moment. I wish I could say more about them publicly, but unfortunately, you have to keep these things under wraps for security purposes. But it's going to be good, and like I said, 2014 is going to be a great year, I think, for us as well as the DJs out there. I just think it's a good timing, and there's a lot of wonderful educational tools out there, especially at Mobile Beat. The lineup right now is so good, and the people who are coming are just going to be in for such a treat. So I think that the timing is right for growth and progress, and it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of positive vibes going on right now in the industry, and the manufacturing they're positive. I think you're right. That 14 is going to be a really big year for us.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mentioned that I don't really DJ too much these days, but you can take the DJ out of that, but you can't take it out of the DJ. And I find myself just still getting enamored by the new products that are coming out, and seeing the things that the guys are doing with their setups and things like that. And it makes me miss it. I mean, it was my first love. It was completely the thing that got me to where I am now. And I still do the occasional gig, but I miss it when I see these things, and I look at these new products that are coming out, and I think, man, I got to get back in it so I can go get this, or I can use that, or whatever. And so at these conferences, I spend most of my time on the exhibit floor playing with all the toys, and it's like the guy who plays Major League Baseball, and then years after he retires, he says, "If I could just have one more chance at it,
one more at bat."
Yeah, right. That's how I feel when I'm in there. So it's a good time.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. It's always good there. If somebody wants to find out more, follow your progress with your shows, where would they go to be able to kind of connect and keep up to speed with that?
The website for my company is www.joshuaproductions.tv.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to check out specifically Family Knows Best, they can go to www.familyknowsbest.com.
Nice.
And, of course, I'm on Facebook. I have the Josh Yawn page, the Joshua Productions page, Family Knows Best. So anything you want to follow, feel free to. And, of course, there's a Hosting for DJs page as well as DJ Crash Course. So all the different facets have their own individual pages, and we'd love for anyone to come check them out and follow and keep up with this.
Yeah, and if someone isn't going to be at Mobile Beat but would like to buy either the hosting book or the Crash Course discs, how would they do that?
They can do that one of two ways. They can go to mobilebeat.com, which is probably going to be your easiest way to find everything all in one place, and certainly you can find all the great books and DVDs by everyone else that's going to be at the conference there as well. So a lot of great tools there, and I believe all the specials from the conference at some point or another will be on the site there as well.
Nice.
And at least ours will be. I can't speak for everyone, but so check that out, mobilebeat.com. And then, of course, the individual pages, hostingfordjs.com, djcrashcourse.com. Very easy to get to, and you can order from there as well.
Nice. Well, sounds great, Josh. I'm looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks here. I mean, gosh,
likewise.
It's not far away anymore.
No, not at all. It's right around the corner.
And it's only, we're in Minnesota, of course, and you're not. It's only, about 5 below right now, and I'm sure you're probably just as cold down there.
We're down here in Texas, and it's like 25, 30 degrees, and people are declaring it a national disaster. People in Texas don't know how to handle cold weather. You see one cold day, and it's like everyone goes, and this is the phrase they use, hunkers down. Everyone goes and hunkers down here in Texas. So everyone's hunkered down. It's like a ghost town when you travel around just because it's cold. It's the funniest thing, but yeah, we're supposedly freezing down here right now.
Oh, and here if we
allegedly freezing.
If we'd see 30 degrees up here, we'd be out in shorts and tank tops.
Right, exactly. That's the way I feel about it, because I've spent a lot of time up north and been in the below zero temperatures. So for me, it doesn't really bother me that much. And then you you find that people who have like 10 layers of clothing on, they look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters walking around, or the kid from Christmas Story that can't put his arms down. Yeah?
Oh, fun stuff, fun stuff.
So,
Well, my friend, thank you for your time today, and we'll see you in a
thank
couple of
you.
weeks at Mobile Beat.
I'll be looking forward to it. Thanks for all you do for the industry, John. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News with our interview. We'll see you at Mobile Beat 18.